Two players, boy in a band, Grumpcade!
Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
Hi, it's Dave. He's still here. We just...
You sound disappointed.
No, still here.
Sorry, guys.
God, sorry. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so yesterday, you know what I mean. I talked about how it was bullied.
You're okay, Ross.
It
was an emotional experience.
I mean, I had other things of bullying, like, bullying sucks. It sucks. It's the worst. It's so shitty that people who probably have just shitty home lives take it out on other kids because it's the only way that they can feel, you know.
Well, on the plus side, now we can be B-Man.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Fuck you.
Well,
people from my high school who made me sad. I'm B-Man now. You can suck my nard. Yeah, I mean, most of the people that I still in contact with from my high school days, they're all really good people, and I'm really happy to still have them in my life.
I'm in contact with, like, no people from school.
Really?
At all.
For a while after I moved to the US, I didn't talk to anyone from Perth. I just, I didn't have anything to say. We kind of grew apart, a few of my friends. Oh, you're playing as B-Man now.
Yep, that's me.
Also, I wanted to apologize in case it was an issue for when you were watching the last few episodes. I guess Aaron was doing some voice acting the other day and the gain on my microphone was turned down, which is impossible to see because even the waveform looks good, so my voice might have sounded a little less full than Dave's, so we apologize for that. There was no way to know.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just my voice.
I'm pretty sure
really
that you just have way more testosterone than me. It's because you have the ability to grow more
with
hair.
a laugh like what I just did, I can more testosterone.
Yeah.
Hey, guys!
But yeah, bullying sucks, and I imagine that we probably have a lot. Actually, you know what? I remember that a long time ago, a guy from my old high school actually sent me an email.
Really?
And he was a Game Grumps fan, yeah.
Oh, Game Grumps fan. That's awesome.
Yeah, he did. And he was just like, yeah, you know, school's been shitty, and I think he was going through the bullying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, it sucks, because, like, it makes people feel, like, I think after high school, I, like, felt really worthless for the first, like, you know, year after high school.
When did you start to have some sort of self-worth?
Well, here's the thing, like, I started doing stuff that was making me, like, happy, like animation and all that.
Yeah.
And in that, I just kind of was just like, you know, these people have no fucking control over my life. I'm never gonna see any of these people again, and they're gonna be fucking nobodies. They can go suck a goddamn balls.
Suck a balls.
Suck a balls. Like,
grammar.
Who cares? Who cares about them? Who gives a shit?
Who cares about the grammar?
They'll be the most annoying thing in your life for like 4 or 5 years, and after that they'll mean absolutely nothing. You won't even remember half their names. I sure as hell don't.
Carl Robinson was mine.
Really?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, you shouldn't say his full name.
Carl, I don't know his middle name.
Kevin, maybe bleep the unless we don't care. Was he a real dick?
Yeah, he was a massive
fuck him.
dick.
Fuck you, Carl Robinson. You're the dick. Yeah, actually, one guy who made my life a little bit of hell in high school. Oh boy, this is a little dark.
Okay, we'll go into it.
I'm not going to say his name because I'm sure he's a better person now, but at least in high school he was a dick, and you know, people change with time. I like to think that you know it's just it's circumstantial of many things, but. One of the guys that bullied me pretty bad, he was he wanted to be in the Air Force. Okay. And the week after graduation from high school, and this is it's not even funny, it's sad as shit. Okay. He went drunk driving and
oh god.
He crashed his car horrendously. He survived. Everyone else in the car survived, but one girl was unfortunately not so lucky and became quadriplegic for the rest of her life.
Jesus.
So that really shut down his dreams of wanting to go to the Air Force.
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of had resentment.
And her dreams of anything.
Yeah, I mean, but like, at the time, you know, like when I heard that, there was a part of me that was just like,
serves you right.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, I don't wish that on anyone. That's the psychological stress that must have on someone.
Yeah, that's going to destroy your life.
Is just going to destroy your life. So, you know, but it's weird because, like, as a kid, you kind of grow to resent people like that. But then...
Well, that's the only life experience you've got at that point,
because
isn't
they
it?
resent you want to return that resentment. So when you kind of get older, you kind of start to think, like, I mean, maybe there was something deeper going on there. Maybe something in their home life wasn't right, you know. So I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about, man.
Most of the people that bullied me, anyone at my school, when I started to think about it, they all had like lower socioeconomic status going on. So it's just like, well, what other source of power have they got in their lives or control or anything?
Right. Or if their dad yells at
Beating
them, how do they yell at other people?
Yeah,
it's a monkey see, monkey do. The first 10 years of your life will impact you for the rest of your life. Like absolutely, 100%. Everything that happens to you in your first 10 years of life can, and even beyond, can.
There are some people who are just sociopaths, though, who.
Yeah.
Like that's just, and even in that case, it's not their fault that their genes make them a sociopath.
Actually, I kind of want to share something I've never shared on the show before, and it's something I've never spoken about. I had one of the things that made it really hard for me to, at least in school, at least in primary school or elementary school here, my parents could see that I wasn't very interested in learning and such. I just was more interested in squiggling in my textbooks than actually learning anything. And I mean, I wasn't a dumb kid. I just didn't care, Like that was the main. I say I was a dumb kid jokingly, but I honestly can remember how I felt. I just didn't care about anything that was being taught. I didn't see any practical use in it.
Because there is none.
Yeah, and I used to say to myself, like, I want to be an animator. I don't see how this is. And then if someone had told me in school, like, oh, well, trigonometry is probably the most important thing you'll learn about to do with animation, because if you ever want to get in programming, trig is I'd heard later that trig is a basic fundamental of like a lot of programming. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But because I wasn't doing so well in school, obviously I was brought to, psychologists and all this, and my mom and dad's, they're just concerned, and because my grades weren't great and I didn't care, they brought me to specialists who said I had attention deficit disorder, which you now told me is just AD. It's apparently AD attention. I didn't even know this. Attention deficit disorder no longer technically exists. It's just all ADD with a what?
Oh, it's all ADHD now. There's two different versions. Oh, there's actually 3 different versions of ADHD. ADHD PI, which is predominantly inattentive, I think.
Right.
That's the one where. Well, hyperactive is the other one. Hyperactive is the one where people are actually hyperactive and they get angry. Right. And predominantly inattentive is when they have more just trouble with focusing on things, and they can't, their memory doesn't work very well, and they don't. I'm really struggling to explain it at the same time.
I know. It's welcome to Let's Playing. It's hard.
Doing multiple things at once.
Yeah.
Ironically. And the third version is combined, which is aspects of both of those together. But that kind of thing changes a lot. Psychology is a very messy science still.
Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, it's hard to have a control group when you're... Yeah. But anyway, the point of my story... is this guy going to say anything important?
Turns out it was the noise tanks who kidnapped the GG's pet pup. Oh, they stole a dog.
It was the Combine.
There's all these police because they stole a dog. No veggies or fruit for them. They're into that Frankenstein food. Oh, maybe they drink Soylent as well.
Oh, good.
Soylent being that...
We'll get into that topic later. But anyway, what I was basically trying to say is that my parents brought me to all these specialists, and after a while they were like, yeah, he has attention deficit disorder.
Yeah.
He doesn't pay attention. So...
How did that make you feel to find out that you had this disorder?
I didn't really understand what it meant. I was in grade 2, so like I don't know how old that would make me, like 6, 7. I'm not sure. So I was like, I felt like I don't know. I didn't really know what to thought. I just thought like, oh, it's just like, I mean, I'm not stupid. I guess this is just I don't care. I don't know. I didn't understand. I didn't really make it. It didn't resonate with me as something that was a problem. It was just kind of like. But then they were like, okay. Well, you're gonna have to take medication now. Yeah. So every morning when do you think you can follow me? Absolutely. So I started taking this medication, and I noticed that my youthful spirit, because I can't remember what it was that I took initially, because back then, if you're a kid and you're like, now as an adult, I know that certain ADD medicines don't agree with me.
Yeah. But
as a child, you're not conscious of that. There's no way for you to basically be like, oh, I understand that, what are the other ones? There's Ritalin, Concerta, Adderall. So I think I was on Adderall. I'm not 100% sure on this. My dad will probably correct me later. But the drug that I was taking gave me an inability to actually socialize.
Oh, right.
So
So
it-
it just kind of made you not care about anything.
Yeah, so it got to the point where I would be at school and I was taking this drug to learn stuff I didn't care about, which really didn't change anything. All it did, the teacher was like, oh, he's great now, he's quiet.
Yeah. And it just removed your personality.
It removed my personality. And I became paranoid. And,
Oh, Christ.
And it like gave me this horrible, oh, we found Mew. That's a rare one. So
Nice.
so basically it made me really paranoid. And I got to the point where like people were hanging out with me outside of school when I didn't need to take the drug and being like, you're like a completely different person outside of school. What is, like the kids didn't understand it clearly.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well,
not,
it's
they're
not taught.
It's not taught. It's not taught. So I had friends, I was making friends outside of school who didn't understand why I was so weird in school. Because I would literally just like get to school drugged up and then stare at a blade of grass.
What was it?
And just focus on that blade of grass.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Like it was so sharp and I wasn't
The blade of grass was so sharp.
no, I mean, yeah, I mean, we had bullgrass, so yeah. But I mean, like, it was just such this thing. Like, I couldn't break focus on like the stupid. It just made me unable to socialize with people, and it was really upsetting because, and I didn't know I was allowed to say, this isn't right. Like,
Yeah.
you're as a child.
This is just what you have to do.
You listen to your mom and dad, and
Oh,
God
come
bless
on.
them. Like you know, my dad's a general practitioner. He's not a psychologist, so he's not gonna know. I mean, he would know to an extent,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, GPs aren't taught that kind of
exactly.
thing,
It's not
especially
this
as well.
specialty. It's a different
Did you
kind
know
of specialty.
ADHD is also like 6 to 7% of kids have it? So it's something that every GP is going to encounter like once a day, but they aren't taught about it.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. So to get back to the story, what happened was the end of primary school, or elementary school for the Americans, came around, and I said to my mom and dad, it's like, I don't want to take this drug anymore. I can't make friends, and I'm going to be going to a new school,
Yeah.
and I want to be able to make friends. I don't want to feel like this anymore.
don't
I
feel
really
like a robot.
I don't want to feel like a robot anymore. I really don't. And so what happened was I came off the drug, and a side effect of it was I developed a twitch.
Oh, really?
I had this neck twitch that I couldn't fight because the drug had become such a thing that had actually like basically become a part of like my daily routine and like I guess my body's chemistry, that my body started having just feeling constantly nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what it was. And I do this neck twitch where
You
I go
still
like,
do that?
like no, I don't do it anymore. But when I was in my early high school, I would occasionally go like this. I'd go like, ugh. I couldn't fight. I didn't
I
know
get
where.
that same twitch.
I don't know what it is, and now I realize it was the Adderall.
Yeah.
The Adderall caused that. It was the side effect of what the Adderall did to me. So for the first 3 years of school, it got less and less. But for the first year, a lot of people thought I was this weird kid because I had this twitch because I was trying to get off the drug so I could make friends.
Yeah.
And it was crushing to me. It was so hard. It was so fucking hard. And
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, it was just weird because, like, I mean, I still had my friends from like primary school,
Yeah, yeah.
like, and they kind of knew I wasn't a fucking weirdo, but like I just had this twitch, and I didn't want to acknowledge it either, and it made me really uncomfortable.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and it was a huge insecurity for me, and I you know, now it's you know, now it's not the case at all. Like that's decades since dealt with, but you know.
I'm sorry, but how the hell am I supposed to see where I'm jumping? Like, the camera... Oh.
Trial and error. But so I feel like, you know,
Okay.
yes. For instance, like you said about like mental disorders, and I think having like that is technically, I don't know if that's classified as mental disorder or
It is
whatever.
a mental disorder.
It is.
ADHD. It's one of the most... It's really genetic as well.
Yeah.
80% is accounted for by genes.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, it's just in your head," you're just saying it's just because you're lazy. It's genetic. So
Yeah.
unless you're saying like cancer is also in your head, then shut the hell up.
Yeah. It can be if you have brain cancer, which in that case,
Oh,
I'm very
good.
sorry.
God, that was both clever and a
And a little
horrifying
grim.
joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was meant to be not, well, you know what I mean. I'm sorry if you have brain cancer. I wish you the best. But yeah, I mean, it was just for the first part of my high school life, that was such a detriment to it. And I eventually got over it, and I was, you know, and that's actually where I learned to be funny, because if I got bullied, I found that like if I had a good comeback or I had a, you know, like if I had it became a defensive mechanism.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the kind of Chandler thing from Friends, isn't it?
Yeah, right. And I think even at some point, like, and I regret it. I probably did bully other people. And I think about it because I'm sure I made jokes at the expense of other people because it was just how it was like living. The school was like prison, you know, like it was literally like if you had your crew. And then, you know, like, if...
That's so true, like the prison analogy.
It is. It's prison. It might as well prison. You have your Bloods, your Crips, your neo-Nazis. It's just the same fucking thing. Like, when I went to school, the groups were separated into the AFL team, the Italian kids, the Asian kids. Yeah, it was...
I've noticed that. I lived in the middle of England, so there weren't many of any other race.
Australia is pretty multicultural.
The Indian kids who were there actually hung out together.
I'm just...
Wonder why that's such a thing.
I don't know. I think
I used to live in the United Arab Emirates, which was way more like loads of different cultures in the same place. And I had a friend who was Indian, a friend who was Pakistani.
Right.
Well, that in itself is something that you wouldn't normally come across.
Right.
A friend who was from France and someone else Hong Kong. Like all of us just hung out together.
Yeah, I mean,
like a big deal.
My friendship group was kind of multicultural.
Yeah.
And there definitely were like actually I take that back. The Italian kids and because we have a lot of Indonesians in Australia, so a lot of the Indonesian. I know tons of Indonesian friends.
Yeah.
And actually, the bullying in school for me got so bad at one point, I actually ditched my friendship circle with another friend and started hanging around with, well, we didn't call them the Italian kids. I'm saying they're Italian because 90% of them were, and the rest of them were Indonesian kids. They were all really into soccer. So they were like, they didn't have a soccer team. I don't know if they had a soccer team at school. They might have. I can't remember. But they all hung out. So I was friends with one guy named Attilio who was really nice. And so me and my other friend Ryan just decided, let's just fuck these guys who are making our life miserable. Let's hang around with these guys. And we did for the longest time. And it actually made my life a whole lot better. And made me realize that these people over here don't have control over my life. And I think that was the most important thing to learn. And especially after I left high school, there was that time where I still had that, and I guess it was anxiety, but I didn't know how, you said, to assess a mental disorder because I didn't know what the fuck one was.
Yeah, and just think that you're freaking weird.
I just think I was fucking weird. Uh-oh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So, I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I guess my
disorders of being
misunderstood.
Do you have ADHD still then?
Well, yeah, I guess I thought I had ADD, but I guess I have ADHD SP1 or whatever. I think
it would be from not PI because you don't seem angry. Do you get angry?
No, I don't have a temper.
Yeah, then it's probably the PI one.
I very rarely get angry.
I'm not a psychiatrist though, so you probably want to get a re-diagnosis if you want to.
My anger generally comes from video games, but it's out of jest. It's out of jest in a way. The anger it's not directed at anyone. I can get angry at things, but I never get angry at people. I try very hard.
Good.
I can get frustrated. I can get frustrated at people. Like there are definitely people.
Which person has made you the most angry? Is it someone on the Game Grumps team?
No, God no. Huh. I don't know. It's hard to think about. I've definitely been like upset before, like really upset. Like it's so weird to say. Like now that I think about it, I used to think that the worst day of my life was the day the steam train started.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a dark thing to share with you guys. But like when John left, there was a large portion of people who were blaming, and like me and John are really fucking good friends.
I remember that, like watching it from the outside, thinking, poor people who have to replace him.
Yeah, like I know, right? So I came in, and you know, there were a lot of people who were being like, oh, you know, like John left because of Steam Train, which wasn't the case. And like John just left because he fucking didn't want to do Game Grumps anymore. That's really the end of it.
Yeah.
And like he wanted to work on his own things. I understand that. It's very hard to juggle projects. My whole thing was that I had this whole situation where I was thrust into the show that I was working on with my friend Dan, and then it became this thing where fucking what am I trying to say? Oh, I was getting all this negativity, and people were, without any evidence, were just blaming me for it, and it was short-lived, but it made me feel terrible because I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And you know, like I hadn't dealt with being in the spotlight. Like I mean, obviously I was in the spotlight with like things like Newgrounds community for a while, but not to that
Not
scale.
to this extent, yeah.
And I was just, it really...
And the first spotlight you get is
Kotaku
negative.
was making articles that were very one-sided and clearly...
Really?
Yeah, they were like, oh, the end of Game Grumps and blah, 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 and the shows, and clearly this has no potential, and we're like, fuck you. Anyway, what I'm saying is that day, the day after that, I was so upset. Holly took a day off work. She called him a sick day, so whatever, who cares? She when she had a shitty job, she hated. And she's like, "You're not going on the computer today. We're going to the beach, and we're gonna have a great day, and nothing bad's gonna happen, and you're gonna feel fantastic." And I was like, "That sounds great. Let's do that." So I went to the beach. And I was still, the whole time I was upset. I was kind of upset. And then when I got there, Barry had accidentally named a Steam Train episode Game Grumps because old habits die hard.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, oh, so I was like, so I was feeling really shitty about myself. No. And then what happened was I was sitting on the beach and I was trying to contemplate why this wasn't a big deal and how I was trying not to think about it. And then all of a sudden, and at the time I was working on a cartoon called Pokemon: The Next Generation. Which
that's awesome.
Thank you. And I was still busily working on that because at the time I hadn't figured out that animation was no longer a viable income source on YouTube. But whatever, that's a different topic.
Is there 2 of them?
I guess there is. Why not? Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just go.
Oh, God.
And as I'm sitting there, thinking, all of a sudden a bee lands on my hand, my drawing hand, my right hand, and I don't realize it's a bee. And I slap it, and I get stung, and I actually got angry. I don't get angry often, and I screamed at the top of my lungs in a public space on a beach, "Motherfuck!" I was so mad. I was fucking furious. I was so done with everything. I was like, fuck everyone, fuck this is bullshit. I was pissed. I was so fucking done. I was pissed. And then I just realized, and this surfer guy came over to me, and he was just like, "What's the matter, dude?" And I was like, "I was stung by a fucking bee," and I was almost on the verge of tears. I was really upset. I had a rotten week, and I couldn't take it anymore. And this guy's like, "Well, it's all right, man. The lifeguard will have bee medicine." And I was like,
thing?
"Yeah," and I was like, "Lifeguard's not gonna have bee medicine, dude. It's a bee. What's a bee doing on the beach?" And I walked to the lifeguard, and he's like, "Yeah, I got bee medicine," and I was like, "Oh."
I didn't even know there was bee medicine.
I didn't even know there was bee medicine. So I put this thing on it was like a cold cream you put on the thing, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice." And then, but the bee made me so mad. I was mad at the bee that I stopped caring about all this shit that was going on, and it was actually kind of therapeutic in a way, Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever shared that on the show, but obviously I don't feel like that anymore because that was nearly four years ago. But naturally, I don't know. Something shitty and insignificant like that will feel like the biggest thing in your entire life, and you look back on it like I am right now. It's completely inconsequential.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean anything. I like to think that people, have, for the most part, except when someone's going to make a fucking snarky comment about not accepting this, but whatever. Majority has, and that's cool. But yeah, I don't know, we came into this because I was talking about anger, but yeah, that was, I think, the time when I really lost my cool. Legit.
Intense.
I've gotten angry other times too, but I just generally think it's misdirected anger. I'm angry at someone.
Oh my God!
You'll get it eventually, buddy. This is a good example. But you mean I've been angry at someone, but really I've looked back at it and gone I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at the situation or something that happened to me earlier in the day, and that's something that happens rarely. But man, it's getting deep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad I could vent. But I love you guys, and thank you for watching our show. I really appreciate it, and your support is always.
It is so cool how everyone's apart from you said, the few snarky comments.
Yeah, but I mean,
supportive now.
It's gotten good. It's gotten good, and I really like doing stuff here at Game Grumps. It's fun, and it's affording me opportunities that otherwise would have been impossible to achieve otherise. So
it's so cool that people get to see your animation as much as they can now as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm doing because I can't. I'm not really focusing on doing animation on YouTube anymore. I'm now pushing. I mean, we're working on Game Over cartoon pilot and series where me and Aaron are developing, which is coming along great, by the way. I'm sorry it's going to take forever, so don't hold your breath. The interesting thing from that is I've been doing streams on Twitch, and that makes me really happy, and it's this nice balance. And also Pokemon Art Academy. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that smile.
I like making people.
that
I like making
smile.
people happy and make them want to do art, even if it's just doing stupid shit or helping people. You know, I don't know. Anyway, next time.
Next time.
Man, that got deep.
That was awesome.
Yeah.